Welcome to Feed Courage. Let's explore the inspiring stories of athletes, business owners, musicians, creatives, and your regular humans. These people have taken bold steps to overcome obstacles in big events or just your daily life. These people have a wealth of knowledge and the inspiration to share. I personally am a fan of all of them. I'm your host, Oz from Leadwolf. So let's get started and meet our next guest.
I started martial arts when I was 10 years old, and Jiu-Jitsu when I was 13.
What got you into it?
It's kind of like a pretty frequent story you hear. The first UFCs, there's a guy named Royce Gracie, and he was a Gracie family member. He was one of the smaller members of the family, and he won the first 3 UFCs with Jiu-Jitsu, with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And my brother, who started full contact kickboxing with me that I was doing when I was 10, he told me about this new Jiu-Jitsu thing and these Gracie guys that were just beating everybody. And I actually, even as a kid, I never liked the idea of punching someone in the face. I didn't want to hurt anybody. I didn't want to get in trouble for punching anybody. So I found this Jiu-Jitsu thing where you could just take someone down, control, and not have to hurt them, but you could still defend yourself without having to hurt anybody. And so I started kickboxing at 10, and then around 13, we found Jiu-Jitsu. And the first moves I learned was a double leg takedown, side control, and an arm bar. And I was like, I could do this to anybody. My dad passed away when I was 10. So my big brother kind of became like my dad. And he was training martial arts at a local school. And he was like, hey, why don't you come over here? We'll both do it together. Because I was kind of lacking a little bit of discipline. And I was getting in trouble.
What kind of trouble?
I was at school. That was the loud one. I was a class clown. Still kind of am, but yeah. I entered because my brother was doing it. That was the main reason. And I did want to learn how to defend myself. Even at a young age, I'm still very, I'm not confrontational, believe it or not. I go out of my way to avoid confrontation and fights. And I knew, I grew up in kind of a bad part of New Jersey. And I was a small Jewish kid, so I would get made fun of, but I would stick up for myself. And I wanted to know, hey, at least I'll have the confidence to be able to do something if someone tries to do something to me or say something to me or try to beat me up. At least I'll have some idea of what I was doing.
Something ever happened?
Yeah. No, I've gotten in fights as a kid. But I was able to, so many times, use what I learned to not hurt people. Just basic grappling and taking people down, and the idea of I don't have to, because I've broken my hand before in a fight, and I was like, okay, I'm not punching anybody anymore. And after that, it was just control, take down, and say stop. And a lot of jiu-jitsu was really effective at that. It was very eye-opening. It was wow, this is so effective. I fell in love with it right away the first day, and it's funny. I fell in love with how simple it could be, how simple it was. That you could just, I felt like I could do, if somebody didn't know how to defend what I was doing, I felt like I could do it to anybody. If someone knew how to defend it, it would be a different story, but a lot of people on the street usually don't train martial arts or fighting, but just basic control and taking them to the ground and controlling from there. I was like, wow, I could do this to anybody. There's stories that you hear, and I actually saw this documentary. It was called One Punch to Jail or something. And this guy hit this guy, and there's multiple stories of somebody getting hit, them hitting the floor, and then they're dead, and they're in jail for the rest of their life. If anything ever happened, they could be like, hey, you know this, why didn't you control it better? They kind of look at it like I should have been the one in charge. Talking your way out of things is number one. And you learn how to be good at that too. Diffusing by talking to people. You could talk your way out of anything, if you know what you're doing. If somebody wants to fight you, you could be like, dude, come on, just stop. What do you want? Or something like that. Or it's when you say, oh yeah, I'm tougher than you, and that ego comes up. Well, if you don't really have that, because you've been in so many situations where you can test yourself, You know, that's like, okay, I don't really need to fight this person who hasn't trained at all. And what's the point? Am I going to hurt this guy? Is he going to hurt me? What is he going to pull out of his pocket? You know, I mean, so many bad situations could go down as opposed to good ones that you really try to avoid that stuff. And it's funny because I don't think I would have that if I didn't do martial arts as much as I did. The ability to avoid such situations. Sometimes you're like, what's the point? Like you're training at the gym all day. You train with these guys who know how to fight. Like, you can get it out there. Like, if you need to go out to a bar and get in a fight, then something's wrong. I think there's something wrong there. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I would like to do 5 minutes of stand-up comedy. I think that's my goal.
What keeps you from doing it?
It's weird. I can teach a jiu-jitsu class in front of 100 people, and I'm joking about jiu-jitsu, and I'm making stupid jokes, and like trying to read the crowd, but just having a set, like, just lines that you got to remember, and going out there and the thought of bombing or something and just crickets, I don't know, just something I'm gonna have to overcome. I think I could do it. What did the letter O say to the letter Q? Dude, you're out. Cat's favorite jiu-jitsu position? Mount. You know what a mount is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, mount. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, terrible. I went to law school. Barry University, School of Law in Orlando, Florida. And I came back home. I graduated law school. I came back up to New Jersey where I grew up to take the bar exam. I studied all summer. I passed the bar the first try. I got a little notice that was like, congratulations, I passed the bar exam. And I was going into where I worked, just at a general practice firm. And I was like, I hate this so much. Like, I could not see myself doing that for the rest of my life. And the only reason I did it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make money and I'll have enough money one day to open up my own gym and do what I love, which is martial arts and teach martial arts. And I'm just a little late, but just hit me like, hey, you gotta wake up and do what fulfills you for a living, and don't wait 20 years and be like, okay, I have enough money now to do that, because that's the crummy life, in my opinion. So getting a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu took the longest. It was definitely the most effort, physical, mental. I say it to my students in class. I'm like, I passed the bar exam, and the road to black belt was harder than that. Like, I was in the library for the bar every day for 8 hours, just getting ready for one test that was 2 days long. But I mean, the amount that you get tested in jiu-jitsu on the mats every day, like, the higher you go up in rank, the more people are trying to tap you out. They're like, I should be that rank, you know? There's a little target on you. And, you know, the darker your belt gets, it goes white, blue, purple, brown, black are the jiu-jitsu belts. You know, the darker your belt gets, the bigger target you have. People can be like, oh, I tapped that brown belt, or I tapped that black belt. So you kind of got to defend yourself on the mats all the time. It was my first professional jiu-jitsu match. That was probably maybe 7 years ago. It was in front of, I have done tournaments so many times, but it was just me and the one guy in a whole auditorium of people. It was just me and him, just so all eyes on you. And that was the first time, because I had never experienced that before. I mean, just, you know, you don't want to get embarrassed in front of thousands of people, you know? So.
Did you feel like fear? Did you feel anxiety?
Anxiety, both, because it's a weird mix of anxiety mixed with ultra confidence. And with me, they fluctuate. They go up, and I'm like, I am so confident right now. Like, I'm ready for this. And just little flickers of, oh man, like, I don't want to get beat. I don't want to get embarrassed in front of all these people. But you got people pep talking you and talking you up and being like, dude, just get out there and do your best, and who cares? Like, all these people that are watching you, they're not doing this right now, so they can say whatever they want. They're just the critics, so you're the one getting out there. I know, honestly, it's I've been teaching a kids program for 11 years at the gym I'm at Victory. And I've had kids that started with me when they were 8, 9. And I have one kid who just, he was a bad kid. And he just finished boot camp and he's in the military now. So he was going down this path, and his parents told me so many times, they were like, you got him down this path and he's a better kid for it. So I enjoy helping people because I know how much martial arts and jiu-jitsu did for me. Because growing up without a dad, my mom didn't have much control of me. It was the people at the gym and the guys and girls that I met every day. They're like, you got to do this. This is what's going to make you a better person. She's always in my ear, like trying to get me to do the right thing, when I didn't really have that from my group of friends that were my age. Just these good influences that I had where I was training. Too much like, you didn't do this, and you didn't, and people, but parents that don't train, like, you should have did this, and like harden their kids. And I feel like that's gonna make their kid not like jiu-jitsu or even hate jiu-jitsu, because it's like, oh, this is something I'm just disappointing my dad or my mom in, so why would I like this? But I think just to show parents that you could say, hey, I'm glad you like jiu-jitsu. I'm glad you enjoy jiu-jitsu. I hope it makes you happy. And if you enjoy it, we can keep doing it. But I'd like you to keep enjoying jiu-jitsu because it's good for you, both mentally, physically, and gives you some discipline that you need. It was my martial arts teacher. His name was Malcolm Perkins, and he became like a father figure. And I try to emulate him as much as I can, like with what I do. Like, he would he knew I didn't have a dad. He would like take me to lunch. He would take me to the movies. He would tell me about life, like things my mom couldn't tell me. And I think about it every day, like stuff that he taught me. And some things you don't agree with, and things they make you do. But I kind of have a saying. It's like kind of a hate me now, thank me later kind of thing. Like, you can be like, I don't want to do this, and why are you making me do this? But now I realize kind of the importance of some of the things that I had to do, and even like the real hard stuff. I think it's going to be more and more mainstream. You'd like to see it in the Olympics someday. I mean, you're starting to see guys, it's still pretty new. You're starting to see guys making some serious money off it now. And that wasn't happening before. Be a good person. Be a good person. Just try to be as humble as you can. And all this stuff that you're doing right now is going to be a tool for you to be able to help other people in the future and give back. So everything that people are giving you right now, you're going to be using in the future to give back to other people. So listen to what people are saying to you. All right, it's like a kid version of the Q one. What did the 0 say to the 8? It's a nice belt.
Adam Mazin, ladies and gentlemen.
Mazin. Yeah,
Mazin.
yeah, amazing. Yeah, I'm Adam Mazin. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And that's a wrap for today's show of Feed Courage. I'm your host, Oz from Leadwolf. I hope you had some valuable insights and really got inspired from our guests. If you have any comments or questions for them, please leave them below. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel. If you or someone you know has an inspiring story, send us a DM. We'd love to have you on our show. Until next time.